Innocent faces, hollow eyes, ominous intentions. Once dismissed as urban legends, the black-eyed kids are being reported again. And once you let them in, you'll realize they were never just stories at all.
Children called black eyes recently, and she told me flat out, oh, if you had let them in the car, you'd be now.
She makes like the creepy smile.
Not every child who knocks on your door isn't exactly as innocent as you might think them to be. Rather, they are a category of them that only intend to haunt you unsuspectingly while least expected. These are the black-eyed children, mysterious children who appear between the ages of approximately 6 and 16 and are distinguished by their completely black eyes, with no visible whites or pupils, who often make their appearance by knocking on doors, whether of a car or a home. Now, these aren't some emo kids on Halloween asking for trick-or-treats, but an urban legend much like Bigfoot or the Skinwalker. You might hear plenty of stories, articles about them, and the incidents of encounter that were accidentally caught on camera, such as this, and even fictional film scenes like this. But the very first known real-life account dates back to 1996, when newspaper reporter Brian Bethel claimed to experience it firsthand while he was heading to pay a bill and was near a local movie theater in Abilene, Texas. A knock on his door started. Outside were two kids, one with a freckled face and the other, who was curly-headed, who did all the talking. He described his overall experience as frightening to this day.
So I was here paying my internet bill, and then all of a sudden, of course, I hear a knock on the door. They look like normal children. So I roll down my window a little bit and I say, "Can I help you?" Only one of them spoke. I am completely frightened of these children. So I know immediately that something is not clicking together. Both of them had cold black eyes.
Couldn't see any iris,
Nope.
couldn't see anything.
Nothing.
Now, apart from all this, there have been numerous other cases where black-eyed children were reported to have been encountered, but with a completely different behavior pattern. Woods encounter. On 7th December 2023, a clip was shared on TikTok showing an encounter with a terrifying entity in the dark. While visiting his friend's ranch and taking a late-night walk because he couldn't sleep, the source spotted something truly terrifying. Although he had noticed it, he only managed to accidentally capture it on his camera.
Who's up?
Describing it as the face of a small girl with completely pale white skin and black eyes that stared at him, looking soulless. Strange neighbor.
Les flics.
A lone female resident from a 2-story rental in Honfleur, France, filmed and shared this video. She claimed to have a very creepy and, at times, terrifying downstairs neighbor with completely black eyes. This is someone who rarely spoke and was unusually distant. The neighbor lived with her son, the building's volunteer manager, whom the tenant had never met. About a week ago, the tenant witnessed something deeply unsettling involving the neighbor late at night. The following day, attempts to reach her went unanswered, with strange occurrences continuing in the apartment. The tenant was left uncertain whether what they saw was truly the neighbor or something far weird, like the black-eyed children. Spooky lurker. While rehearsing a speech in front of the bathroom mirror, a hotel guest in South Korea unknowingly captured something far more sinister. In the reflection of a smaller mirror, he saw a pair of unnervingly dark eyes staring back at him. Small, childlike, with them being completely black, unblinking, and looking emotionless. The figure's pale, shadowed face and silent presence left him shaken and terrified that the guest later shared the footage on TikTok, where it quickly spread, sparking widespread discussion. Tree line figure. The pilot of a drone surveying his land in Portland, Oregon, spotted something deeply unsettling below. The footage showed a young female figure in a white frock with long black hair, partially hiding as if deliberately avoiding view. Her behavior was far from ordinary, showing that she was aware but didn't care that a drone was overhead. This led to darker speculations, with some claiming she could be a witch or possessed. Others noted a striking resemblance to reports of black-eyed girls, adding an eerie layer of mystery to the sighting. Child's apparition. This footage was captured by a hostel student in Indonesia who had repeatedly experienced sightings of a childlike apparition that would appear and vanish without warning. After multiple encounters, he finally managed to record one of them on camera, showing it appear in the kitchen sink and once even in the laundry room. It would stare at him silently for a couple of seconds and disappear as he got closer to investigate. While he was convinced this was a case of paranormal activity, as it never initiated any contact. However, if you look closely at it, it has a dark set of eyes that are harder to spot, making a higher possibility of it being a black-eyed kid. Black-eyed girl. On the outskirts of Ohio, a video was filmed by a remote resident showing a very frightening-looking girl who suddenly appeared and started pleading to let her in.
Who are you?
Please, help me, help me.
The girl of mysterious nature was first thought to be possessed or under some paranormal influence, who, under desperate circumstances, wanted to make her way in. Her body description being completely black-eyed and also being somewhere between 6 and 16 years of age further confirms that this indeed was real-life documented proof that black-eyed kids do exist.
Who are you?
Spirit of Black Eye. This is creepy footage that surfaced online on the 17th of November 2023, showing the reflection of a child freezing in time with demonic black eyes. The clip that was filmed by a babysitter while the parents of the child were away left her terrified. And at the same time, worried if the baby was under some kind of demon influence. As the footage went viral back then, many paranormal experts and theorists call this a case where this child, sooner rather than later, may come under the influence or end up being part of the black-eyed kids. Ghostly reflection. A young woman named Fizana was taking a quick look at her reflection before leaving when she noticed something bizarre. Standing just behind her was an unknown dark figure. Both she and the viewers initially took it to be a shadow until she raised her arms, but nothing followed. Its face looked pale white, with the top of its face that was black.
But there's definitely, there's no way there could be someone standing there.
Or completely black eyes. After the clip got attention, many viewers warned her until she responded, saying that whoever this was has been there for quite a while, leaving everyone even more confused.
I'm just gonna put up my hand here. Yeah.
Hidden ghost girl. A young woman who, after hearing a moment in her TV room, discovered something unnerving. Beneath the blanket was this weird and terrifying figure that instantly left her in terror. Staring up at her was a young girl with a lifeless expression and eyes completely black, empty, and unblinking. The moment the realization hit, she fled the room without a second glance. She started thinking to herself that this was the very black-eyed girl who randomly appeared just minutes after she learned about their existence. Some claimed it wasn't the first time she had appeared there, and that once she's let in, she doesn't leave easily. Bathroom ghost. A group of Japanese schoolgirls shared unsettling footage claiming to show a ghost that haunts their school bathroom. In the video, one of the girls begins filming and slowly checks each stall, only for a mysterious figure to suddenly appear. Very little is known about the identity of the apparition, but some believe it could be the spirit of a girl who died tragically and remains bound to the location. The story closely resembles well-known urban legends, drawing comparisons to fictional hauntings like Moaning Myrtle from the Harry Potter series. Mirror Demon. A group of friends was chatting when one of the girls happened to glance at the mirror, and what she saw made her blood run cold. Her reflection suddenly twisted into something unrecognizable, almost demonic, staring back at her with a horrifying intensity. Shockingly, she said nothing, returning to the conversation as if nothing had occurred.
She makes like a creepy smile.
It was as though the mirror had revealed a hidden, shadowy side of herself, a dark presence she had never known existed, lurking just beneath the surface. Unknown, hooded entity. Imagine hitting what seemed like an animal on the road, only to watch it shift into a human-like figure before your eyes. This couple had a sudden encounter, and one of them grabbed their phone to record just as the creature began climbing onto their car, terrifying them completely. After a couple of seconds of panic, the others managed to drive away to safety. As the clip was seen online, many viewers who passed through there confirmed they had encountered the same creature multiple times along that very stretch of road. However, no one knows the nature of this entity. Scary woman. Being in the midst of exploring an old, abandoned house, a man believed he was entirely alone. The silence was heavy, and every step echoed through the dark, empty rooms. Suddenly, a face appeared in a window, a woman staring straight at him with icy, unsettling eyes that seemed almost witch-like.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Before he could react, she vanished into thin air. Panicked, he searched every corner of the house, but there was no trace of her. Realizing the risk and the impossibility of what he had just seen, he knew it was time to get out fast.
تلفون زفت ولا كان تصويره بسم الله الرحمن.
Spooky spectator. After hearing strange noises coming from his storage room, the man began recording while slowly inspecting the space using only his phone's flashlight. Midway through the video, a chilling figure appeared not directly, but as a reflection in a mirror. When he turned to look, no one was there, reinforcing his belief that he had captured something paranormal.
No.
Rewatching the footage later, the figure appeared to resemble a female spirit, possibly even a witch. The clip was eventually shared on TikTok, where it quickly went viral within the paranormal community. Weird little girl. A driver who was just about to exit from a village in Malaysia when this weird tiny encounter immediately had him halted. He noticed a small girl standing near a graveyard, oddly calm and moving in a strange, ritual-like way. When asked where she came from, she slowly pointed toward the graves. When asked about her parents, she pointed there again. What truly unsettled them were her eyes, completely black, empty, and emotionless. A deep sense of fear set in, and they decided to leave at once. Moments later, when they looked back, the girl was gone. Whether she was human or something else is unknown, but the encounter closely resembles the disturbing black-eyed children category. Balcony lurker. This footage was recorded in Acapulco, Mexico, by a source who had just checked out of an apartment when something deeply unsettling caught his attention. While standing across the street, he noticed a small girl on the apartment's balcony, silently staring down at him. Her presence felt wrong. Almost deliberate, as if she was watching or haunting him. What made it more disturbing were her eyes, dark and lifeless, resembling the classic description of black-eyed children. No movement, no emotion, just watching. The video is old, and no further context exists, but the encounter remains unexplained. Crying Demon Girl.
Yuk, masuk yuk. Siapa ini? Hey.
What began as an act of kindness quickly turned into a terrifying experience. A woman noticed a young girl sitting alone and crying, and feeling concerned, she approached to see if the child was okay. No matter how many times she spoke to her, the girl never responded, remaining completely still and silent. When the woman finally reached out and touched her, everything changed. The child suddenly looked up, revealing a face that was twisted, inhuman, and unmistakably sinister. Overcome with fear, the woman stumbled backward in panic, and in that very moment, the child vanished without a trace, as if she had never been there at all.
Ayo. Kenapa? Kamu kenapa?
Haunted forest bus. Spirits aren't said to linger only in abandoned buildings, but sometimes in vehicles left behind as well. While hunting deep in the woods, a man came across a long, crashed bus that had clearly been abandoned for years. Curious, he looked inside from a distance and noticed a small girl sitting quietly among the wreckage, untouched and unnervingly calm. Her presence felt completely out of place. When he gathered the courage to step inside the bus to confront her, she had vanished without a sound. The sudden disappearance left him shaken, convinced that the abandoned bus was not empty, but haunted. Backseat silhouette. While driving along a quiet rural road, a man recorded disturbing footage of something unnatural inside the car ahead of him. In the back seat sat a woman with a shadowed, distorted face and eerily glowing eyes, giving her a witch-like appearance. She locked her gaze onto him through the rear window, never blinking, never looking away. Moments later, her behavior turned violent as she began jerking and slamming herself against the glass, as if trying to break free. The sudden aggression left the witness shaken, raising an unsettling question. Was this a witch caught on camera, or a woman possessed and being taken away against her will? Silent possession. This video, dated June 24th, 2022, was recorded by a concerned partner after he noticed something deeply unsettling. While being around her, he caught sight of a dark shadow, a strange silhouette of an entity briefly peering at him before vanishing instantly.
Amy.
As he tried to get her attention and initiate contact, the woman remained completely motionless, almost as if she were trapped in a trance, appearing distant, unresponsive, and possibly possessed at the same time.
Amy. Amy.
Ceiling watcher. During a class at a school in San Diego, one of the students noticed an unknown set of eyes locked onto him. This started and lasted for several minutes after lifting one of the drop ceiling covers. The student started filming it on camera while he attempted to get a good look at it by zooming in. If this was some ghost or spirit is unclear, but many of the theorists believe or connect this to be another case of black-eyed kid that was looking down upon them. Elevator spirit. A leaked security camera caught a chilling incident inside a hospital elevator. A nurse, assisting a patient in a wheelchair, suddenly saw a shadowy figure materialize out of thin air. Before she could react, the entity passed right through the wall and disappeared, leaving her terrified and fleeing, abandoning the patient in shock. Later, hospital management reviewed the footage and confirmed the strange event, but the recording was eventually leaked online by an unknown source, spreading fear far beyond the hospital walls. Terrifying figure encounter. A young woman was waiting in her car outside a McDonald's when she noticed someone standing nearby, silently staring at her. It was a small girl with pitch black eyes and an eerie, unnatural calm, as if sizing her up.
Oh my god, Tiana,
She didn't rush or act desperate, but her slow, deliberate movements made the encounter feel even more chilling. Within moments, just as the woman's friend returned, the girl silently disappeared, leaving behind an unsettling sense that she had been watching far longer than anyone realized.
Guy, oh my god, oh my god! Oh my god! Tiana!
Witch terror. While driving in broad daylight, a man spotted a small, unsettling figure standing in the middle of the road. As he got closer, the girl hunched unnaturally and peered inside the car with completely black, soulless eyes, pale skin, and tangled, wild hair. Reported in 2012, the driver said she made slow, deliberate movements as if trying to get closer, instilling terror in him. Her sudden appearance on a public road left many online viewers confused, with some claiming she was a witch or a black-eyed child, an entity that grows stronger the more fear it evokes. Hitchhiking apparition. In the early hours of the morning along Route 34 near Torres, Santa Fe, a convoy of truck drivers experienced something deeply unsettling. A driver following the lead truck switched on his headlights and was horrified to see a female figure clinging to the rear of the moving vehicle, her face hidden in darkness. When the trucks finally slowed near a roundabout, the figure suddenly fell away and vanished. Shaken and terrified, the drivers left the area immediately. Although the incident was captured on video, no explanation has ever been found. Forest stalker. A camper who was gathering firewood deep in a Michigan forest noticed a lone figure standing motionless in the distance, appearing to be a young girl dressed in white. As he zoomed in for a closer look, the illusion shattered. Her skin was gray and lifeless, her face nearly featureless. Save for a pair of dark, hollow eyes locked onto him. The air grew heavy and threatening in an instant. Sensing there was nothing human about her presence, the man was overcome with fear and chose to back away, leaving the encounter disturbing, unexplained, and deeply unsettling. Chasing possessed girls? These friends, who were just walking down the streets in Yangon, Myanmar, unknowingly walked into this terrifying anomaly. A girl with pale skin, long hair, and a face mask suddenly started chasing them after staring momentarily. The inhuman-like nature and manner of her sprinting towards them immediately left them horrified by her intent and forced them to flee to safety. After sprinting a short distance, it vanished until suddenly they saw it coming for them once again. This time, they had to flee much further to get away. Aside from getting good at it and even filming on camera, they still didn't have any idea of its true nature. Abandoned hospital entity. An Algerian paranormal investigator was exploring an abandoned hospital in Morocco when he encountered something deeply disturbing. While moving through a former ward, an entity suddenly appeared without warning. As he spoke aloud, it seemed to notice him instantly. In a horrifying motion, the figure twisted its head completely backward and locked its gaze onto him. Stricken with fear, the investigator didn't hesitate and fled the area, convinced he had come very close to something not meant to be seen. Porch child disappearing. After dropping off her nephew, a woman noticed a young girl on the porch of a neighboring house. The child appeared to be pacing back and forth, quietly talking as if someone else was there, despite no one being visible. Moments later, the girl suddenly disappeared without explanation. Alarmed and worried, the woman stopped recording and hurried over to check on her, but the porch was empty. No trace of the child could be found, leaving behind an unsettling question of whether something paranormal was involved. Laundry demon. A haunting inside a laundry shop may sound unbelievable, but what was captured told a far darker story. The owner had begun noticing strange activity, clothes shifting on their own, and faint sounds moving through the room. After being curious and uneasy about the situation, a security camera was installed. The footage revealed something chilling. Between rows of hanging clothes, a small figure slowly emerged, revealing a pale, childlike face with completely black, hollow eyes. Her movements were unnatural and erratic, as if she didn't fully belong there. Some believe she wasn't just a spirit, but a witch or a black-eyed child. Blocking road spirit. Picture driving down a dark, empty road when something suddenly steps into your path. Late one night, two men were traveling together when a tall, unsettling figure appeared out of nowhere ahead of them. It resembled a girl dressed like a doll, standing unnaturally still before slowly swaying back and forth. The way it moved felt deliberate, as if it were intentionally blocking their way forward. Too frightened to get any closer, the men waited in their vehicle until fear finally overtook them, forcing them to turn around and search for another route to escape whatever was standing in the road. Paranormal visitor. In New York, a woman was woken up abruptly when her doorbell rang at around 3 in the morning. Knowing it was far too late for a normal visitor, she cautiously looked through the peephole and froze in fear. Staring back at her was a partial face pressed close to the door, with a single wide eye fixed on her. What made it even more terrifying was how translucent the face appeared, as if it wasn't fully solid. She refused to open the door, certain it wasn't human. Earlier, she had noticed the elevator doors open on her floor with no one inside, leading her to believe whatever stood outside had arrived on its own. Chapel sighting. In April 2019, a ghost hunter returned alone to an abandoned chapel to film. While exploring, he heard a faint voice from a room. Moving cautiously, the hunter approached a World War II memorial plaque and felt an overwhelming sense of dread. Turning around, the source saw a pale figure in the window resembling a nun, even though the chapel had been deserted for years. Fear took over, and he rushed outside.
Yo, what's up? Oh my God!
As the ghost hunter stepped into the open, a shadowy shape appeared along the left side of the roof. Glancing back, he caught the nun's face again in the window. Realizing he wasn't safe, he left immediately, likely saving himself.
Come on, show yourself. Guys.
Angry spirit. A man in Tokyo began experiencing unsettling events in his apartment. Objects would move on their own, particularly in the kitchen, where items were inexplicably thrown across the room. Hoping to capture evidence, he set up a camera to record the occurrences. The man had lived there with his wife, yet neither could explain the strange activity. Some believe the disturbances were caused by the spirit of an angry woman, perhaps seeking revenge. Others speculated she might not realize she had passed away. If she had once lived in the building, her restless spirit could still be trapped there, haunting and tormenting anyone who dared to remain in the apartment. Captured una bruja. In Mexico, a chilling scene drew the attention of onlookers. A figure in white moved erratically across the ground, clearly not acting normally. Nearby, a woman lay motionless while priests conducted a ritual over her.
¿Cuánto tiempo llevas ahí? ¿Cuánto tiempo?
It wasn't an ordinary ceremony. It was an exorcism. In some parts of Mexico, priests perform exorcisms to free local brujas from malevolent spirits. But this time, something felt different. As the ritual continued, the woman's body contorted in unnatural ways, resisting every attempt to expel the entity. Those watching realized the spirit inside her was powerful and unwilling to leave. The outcome remained uncertain, leaving a sense of dread hanging over the scene. Unseen figure. Late one night, a hospital receptionist suddenly rose from his desk, grabbed a notepad, and began speaking as if guiding someone, yet no one was there. Security staff monitoring the CCTV watched in disbelief. When questioned, he insisted a woman had appeared, and he was showing her the way. Adding to the mystery, the door he mentioned swung open on its own, as if someone had entered. But strangely, only he seemed able to see her. The incident left everyone baffled, raising unsettling questions about what or who had really walked through that door. Blackout revelation. A man was home alone when the lights suddenly went out. Assuming it was just a blown fuse, he went to investigate, but in the darkness, he froze. Standing before him was a strange woman, completely still. Her movements were jerky, unnatural, and deeply unsettling. Panicking, he tried to escape, but things took a terrifying turn. She reappeared behind him, striking before he could get away. Who or what she was and where she came from remains a mystery. One thing was certain after that night. He and anyone who heard the story knew better than to approach the elevator when the lights went out. Disappearing girl. This video was filmed and shared after the recorder started hearing the sound of giggling in his storeroom. As he went on to investigate, he was shocked to discover that what looked like a small girl suddenly disappeared as the source got close enough to investigate. You can clearly see here that this indeed was the physical appearance of a girl whose nature now remains a mystery. Was this some ghost or supernatural entity? Or perhaps just another sighting of a black-eyed girl? The video has definitely reached its end. I will see you again with another WOW video. Until then, you can check these other videos out for a WOW dose of entertainment and knowledge.